we couldn't go 2 days. The NBA couldn't be normal for 2 days. We just started the season, and as Shams Charania and Pablo Torre reported this morning, Terry Rozier and Blazers coach Chauncey Billups have been arrested for alleged illegal gambling operations. Now, this is all happening right now live. It's developing. So, more details are coming out. Apparently, Chauncey has been charged and related to a poker operation with the mafia or something. And Terry Rozier's allegations go back to 2023, where during a game his unders spiked, he played under 9 minutes, and he left with a foot injury. Now, as we all know, this is not a new problem for the NBA. We all remember the Jonte Porter situation and the still ongoing Malik Beasley case, which apparently is still pending a DOJ decision. Now, typically in these situations, the NBA will do its own investigation and present its own findings. They already did so with Terry Rozier, and they cleared him. So while the situation itself is not that surprising to me, the people involved is a bit surprising. Because, why would the NBA clear him? It really gives, we investigated ourselves and we found nothing wrong. Because unfortunately, the NBA is coming from a very hypocritical standpoint. They have a massive deal with FanDuel, who is a betting company, and if you watch any NBA broadcast, you're going to see multiple gambling ads every single time there's a timeout or a break in play. It's just ingrained in the league now. Now, the sports gambling industry itself over the last 7 years has gone from a $0.4 billion annual revenue to well over $15 billion. It is a massive industry that is only growing, and it does so by preying against people's natural human behaviors. So it's a bit naive for the NBA to think that their players would be immune from this kind of manipulation. And when they put it in their face all the time with FanDuel sponsorships and they push and encourage gambling, I don't see how we're supposed to be surprised by this at all. And this whole situation is awful for gambling companies as well, because if it no longer seems fair because players are manipulating it in order to win bets for them and their friends, how is the general public supposed to play in good faith? The league obviously makes a lot of its revenue from sponsorships, and it's obviously a very lucrative deal because these gambling companies are massively successful. And this whole situation just shows how pervasive the gambling industry has become and how it's invaded, every part of the sports industry. So once again, for the second time in 6 months, the NBA is facing a huge scandal that will really test the league's integrity. It'll be very interesting to see what the fallout of this is. Do the Blazers have to hire a new head coach? Will the Heat be released from Terry Rozier's contract, which was one of the worst contracts in the league? So if that happens, that's just a benefit to them. This whole situation should be something that makes the NBA look in the mirror and evaluate if it is picking the right sponsorships, but I think we all know that's not going to happen. The onus will be put on the players, and the individuals will be the ones who are made to look bad and as if they've done is entirely evil, which of course it's bad. I'm not advocating for players to be able to bet on games or coaches to be able to do whatever Chauncey Billups did, but the hypocrisy of the league is insane. I don't know what it'll take for the NBA to really take this seriously. Perhaps if a big name player is caught doing something like this, it'll be too big of a deal for the NBA to sweep under the rug. Now, beyond the moral panic of this, of the cheating and the gambling and manipulation of games, there's just something so awful that you feel as an NBA fan when you look at this and you start to wonder, how much of this is real? The fun of sports is the spontaneity and the unexpected. If there are people pulling the strings and manipulating the outcomes of games or draft lotteries or anything, it becomes very hard to watch and enjoy. As I understand it, the NBA is more of an entertainment product than it is about basketball. That's been clear for a very long time. Everything from the way the All-Star game is presented to the way that they allow ESPN to talk about the league, it is very clear that it is not just about the sport of basketball, which as a fan sucks, but you understand that this is kind of the relationship that has to happen for the league to be profitable, for these players to get paid all this money. It's just how it works. But unfortunately, stuff like this breaks that trust. Another factor of this I don't want to forget to mention is that the NBA also tries to market itself to kids. It really tries to market these players as heroes, and it markets the game to a wide swath of children. Under normal circumstances, advertising a very addictive behavior like sports gambling two children would be looked at very poorly. But the way that the NBA is able to do it, it just appears to be fun and another way to engage with the game. And in doing so, they really cover up the ugly side of sports gambling. While these advertisements have a disclaimer about betting responsibly, they don't show what it looks like to lose it all. They don't show what it looks like to consistently fail on a bet and have your dreams broken, obviously because they are trying to market the product. Even seeing players get disciplined for this, it's not that discouraging because the NBA doesn't treat it like it's a huge deal because they don't want the focus put on their relationship with these gambling companies. So, unfortunately, as the new season has started, even with lots of great games, the focus is not on basketball. The focus is on everything besides that, as it typically is with the league. This offseason in the summer, it was all about the Clippers allegations and their alleged cap circumvention, and now, unfortunately, I have to have this conversation again. PR-wise, the NBA is pretty bulletproof with this kind of stuff. They're so massively successful that even Adam Silver's job is likely safe no matter what, even if he didn't take stern actions against this or take any kind of action to unravel the hypocrisy that the NBA has. We like to believe that sports is fair. It's one of the only things that keeps us watching. And I often make jokes about the NBA script and about how the script writers are really cooking this season and all that stuff, but sometimes it really feels like that's a real thing. And stuff like this is just more fuel for the conspiracy theorists. Anyway, those are my quick thoughts about it. Unless anything crazy happens in a development, that's pretty much the last time I'll mention it. All right, thanks for watching.